75 minutes with me today. I realize it's 4 o'clock on Thursday, and I am between you and a cold beer, so I'll try and make sure that our next hour or so together is worth your time. My name is Casey Metzger. I am a Senior Product Manager on the Dynamics 365 for Talent team. I come to you from sunny Fargo, North Dakota, where the air is not nearly as hot or heavy as it is out there today. What we're going to talk about today, the next 75 minutes is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to spend a lot of time in demos. I'll be showing you some of the new capabilities and features that we've been adding in Core HR, but I've got some information that we want to share with you before we get into the product. Just so I have a better idea of who you are out there, can you tell me if who of you are customers out there? Any Microsoft customers? A few. And partners? CRM partners or F&O? A little mixture of both. Okay, fantastic. So when we talk about talent, we've kind of got the three experiences we talk about. We've got attract and onboard. Hopefully you were able to see some of the sessions we had earlier the week presented by Laurel, or yesterday we had Brandon and Michelle up here talking about all the great capabilities and functionality we've been adding to those products. But in the core HR space, that's where we're talking about more of the core administration processes. How can we make the core HR processes more streamlined, more compliant, making sure that you can get to the data that you want. And it's certainly no surprise that our CEOs are spending at least 20% of their time on their most valuable assets, their employees. Within Core HR, we also have a large self-service component. So we do have both manager and employee self-service. And one of the key things that we've been working on this calendar year is trying to make sure that that employee experience is comprehensive. We understand that customers have solutions that may be outside of talent, but how can we make sure that we allow you to extend the employee self-service so that employees can still go to one spot to get all the information they want, and then perhaps launch from there into other systems. And then lastly, and certainly not least, our analytics. We've worked hard to make sure that we've got, using the Power BI capabilities there, we have a set of Power BI reports that are embedded right within Core HR. Each one of the areas and modules that we have always has an analytics tab where we ship predefined reports. So when we talk about Core HR, these are the different areas or modules that we've got in Core HR. We've got everything from your personnel management, org management, all that employee lifecycle information. We've got all your employee rewards. We can take care of fixed and variable compensation, your employee benefits, as well as that leave and absence. We always, and don't want to forget our friends, our compliance. We've got compliance reporting in there as well as health and safety tracking. And then again, as I mentioned, we have both employee and manager self-service. So this calendar year, what have we been focusing on? Well, when we released Talent last year, we had our leave and absence module, which was new, and we've been focusing a lot on that this last year, getting feedback from you, customers and partners, understanding what your needs are, understanding that there is a variety of different configuration options that companies have for managing their leave and absence, and understanding, different companies, different geographies, different industries have different needs. So making sure that we build a system that is configurable and flexible enough for you to use that. We've also made enhancements in the benefits area. We've traditionally had the ability for you to manage your benefit processes, but we didn't have the self-service component of that. So we added the ability through open enrollment to have the employee log into employee self-service and go through the open enrollment process. We've also streamlined some processes in organization administration and personnel administration, making some of that information that we had more visible to you, streamlining some of those processes, making sure that HR can get through those more easily. And then again, in manager self-service, there are some actions that we enabled, allowing a manager to go in and request compensation changes or entering leave and absence on behalf of somebody else. And then again, extending employee self-service. We've also been working hard to get Core HR on CDS for apps. Is there anybody in the audience that hasn't heard CDS for apps or isn't familiar with it? Okay, I didn't figure so. So we have been working hard to get Core HR on CDS for apps, sometimes called CDS 2.0. And I'm excited to announce that in October, we'll be releasing Core HR on CDS for apps too, so that you can take advantage of all the capabilities that CDS for apps has available to you. Now, when we do roll this out, well, since we're all very familiar with what CDS for apps, I'll go ahead and go by that. But when we roll out Core HR and CDS for apps. We will roll out in what I like to think of as a phased approach with our entities. We won't have all the entities available in CDS for apps on Core HR right away. When we first released the solution in October, these are the core areas that we're going after for our entities. We'll have entities around jobs, positions, obviously our worker, employee information, as well as the fixed compensation and leave and absence entities. We've been working a lot with our customers and partners to get feedback from all of you telling us, well, what are the most important entities that you need for integrations? And this is some of the feedback that we got from all of you saying, from an integration scenario, these are the entities that are most important to me. We also wanted to understand from a reporting standpoint, what things do you want to report on so that you can build your own Power BI reports? It's great, Casey, that you've got all these embedded Power BI reports, but I want to build my own report. So we got feedback from you saying, these are the entities that are important to us from a reporting standpoint. Based on that feedback, once we release our October solution, we're not done yet. We are going to continue to build out that footprint of entities that we have available on CDS. And I want to give you guys kind of a sneak peek at these are the next set of entities that we're going to go after based on feedback we got from all of you. We want to make sure that we expose those employee competencies, things like if you're tracking skills, certificates, education, that we get that information out to CDS for you. We obviously want to get our benefits information out there, helping you light up those provider integration scenarios. We do have some information out there in October on org management, your jobs and positions, supporting that line hierarchy, but we know that there is more functionality that we want to get out there supporting those matrix hierarchies and more details around those jobs and positions. So we'll be continuing to expand on those entities. We also want to make sure that we are exposing those custom fields. We understand that our customers use the custom fields functionality and talent a lot so that they can go in and create their own fields. We track a lot of information on employees, but it's always surprising when we talk to customers how much more that they want to track. So I know our customers use the custom field functionality a lot, but we want to make sure that we're also getting that information out to CDS. So the team is working very hard to make sure that we can get those fields that you create in Core HR into CDS. And we won't stop there. Like I said, we'll continue to grow that footprint, but wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on after we deliver the solution in October where we will be working next. So I mentioned leave and absence earlier and the fact that we've been focusing a lot on that this last year, wanting companies and helping companies stay compliant with their needs in this area, making sure that we are building a leave and absence area that is flexible enough to handle all the variety of different plans that you need to create. So some of the key features that we've been working on most recently was the ability to take time off in days. When we first released leave and absence, we allowed you to take time off in hours. Understanding that that doesn't always work in all companies and all regions. Some people track time off in days. So we recently added the ability for you to track time off in days instead of, or in addition to hours. We also added the ability for you to create a working day calendar. This really helps you streamline the process for employees when they submit time off. Reduces those clerical errors. They don't have to go in and remove those non-working days or holidays there. You can set up all that calendar information, assign it to an employee, and then that will flow into when they submit time off. We also provide the ability for you to have custom accrual dates. Originally, we allowed you to accrue off the plan's start date. But there may be opportunities or instances where you need to accrue based off maybe an employee's start date or their seniority date or anniversary date. There's a variety of dates that we store on employees, and we now give you the ability to accrue off of those dates. I mentioned this earlier. We now give you the ability to enter in time on behalf of somebody. So if you have somebody call in sick and that person can't come in and enter in that leave request, we'll allow a manager or HR to submit time off on behalf of that employee. And then most recently, we added the feature to allow you to accrue time off based on hours worked. You can import in the hours worked with the entity that we have and then accrue off of those hours worked. And I will show you how we do that. So without further ado, let's get into the product. So here I am in Talent, and I am going to go in right away to my leave and absence area. You can see in my leave and absence area, I've got a lot of different plans available that I've already created. I did want to mention again, in each one of the areas of Core HR, we do usually have the Analytics tab. These again will be all those embedded Power BI reports. A lot of the times we try and give you information relevant on the information that you're tracking in here. So we'll try and do reports on trends if this comes up, things on leaves that's a lot of times interesting, or utilization rates, how are our employees using this, what is the enrollment percentages there. We can easily track current balance information, and they also mentioned some of the trending. So just remember, in each one of our areas in Core HR, we have an analytics area where we have those embedded Power BI reports. So if we jump back into our plans, let's dig into one of these plans. I've got a plan called Paid Time Off. And within this plan, there's a lot of information I've got. You can see I'm accruing this on a monthly basis. We have a lot of different options that you can choose on these plans on how you want to accrue. I'm also accruing based on the plan start date. You can see this is one of the new options I was talking about. There's an accrual type of hours worked. And what this is telling me down here is once an employee has worked for at least 150 hours, in a month they will accrue those 10 hours of time off. I'll show you a couple other plans just to show you some of the variety that we have in here. Here's another leave plan that I've created. The difference in this one is I'm now accruing this one annually. So if you accrue annually on there, this is based also on months of service. So this is where you're saying anybody who's worked under 5 years will accrue that 80 hours of vacation. Once they've been there for 5 years, then they accrue 120. And once they've been there for 10 years, they accrue 180. You can include if you want to have minimum balances. Some companies allow their employees to go negative in there, so you could put in a minimum balance of negative, allowing your employees to go negative in that. You can also include what carryover, if you allow them to carry over hours worked, how much time do you let them carry over. You can also do grant amounts. So if you grant somebody, let's say we go into our sick plan, and you're granting them 80 hours, it's just annually they get 80 hours of sick leave. So there's a lot of variety that you can have in these plans, being able to configure that. I had mentioned some of, if I just create a new one, I can show you some of the other fields. These are where you could pick all your different leave types, but you can have your accrual frequency. I showed you examples of accruing on a monthly or an annually basis, but we give you a lot of flexibility, letting you choose in your plan how often you want to accrue that. If we go and take a look back on that time off, I can easily see as well which workers and employees are enrolled into this plan. So I've got 5 people enrolled into this plan, and I'm going to go into Benjamin. Let's take a look at him in a little more detail. So if I go over to his leave and absence area, if you remember, we were accruing this plan off of his hours worked. Right now we don't have any hours worked in for his paid time off, but I'll show you how we can actually import that in, if I can get this to refresh. There, so we've got 0 in. I haven't run accruals for him, so he's sitting at an hour basis. So I mentioned that you can import in that hours worked. So what I've done is I've taken our hours worked entity, a pretty simple entity in there, 4 fields. It's got their personnel number, their date that they worked, their type, either regular or overtime, and the hours worked. So I created a simple spreadsheet for Ben with both of his September and October hours. And what I can do is go ahead and in our data management area, I'm going to actually import in those hours. Let's close that. So let me go into data management, and I will quick create an import project to bring that in. Here is my hours worked entity. Grab my file. Here are my August and September hours. And we will import that. We'll give it a minute to refresh. It's brought it in, and it's successfully brought in my records. So let's jump back out and see what it's brought in for Ben. If I go to my people workspace, we can search on Ben. I do have cards in my People Workspace related to any of the leave and absence plans that Ben is assigned to. This is also where HR can request that time off. So again, if Ben was sick or he needed to have time off submitted on his behalf, this is where HR can go in and submit that time off on behalf of Ben. He doesn't need to log into the system to do that. So let's go into that paid time off. So here you can see now, instead of having 0, it has accrued 150 hours for my September. We are in the current current record of September, the current month of September, so it brought in those 152 hours. Now I haven't accrued yet, which is why I don't have an available balance yet, but you can see it's brought in that hours worked. Now when I run accruals, it will accrue based off the hours that I imported in. So let's actually go in and accrue for Ben. So I can accrue as of today's date. I actually want to just accrue August since we are in the middle of the month for September. I don't want to accrue in the middle of the month. So I'm going to accrue August. So remember, if we brought in August hours and September hours, so I'm just going to accrue our August hours. You can certainly set this up on a batch processing plan. HR doesn't need to remember to come in here and accrue that. They can set that up as a batch process, configure that, and they can run it whatever frequency if they want it to accrue on a weekly, monthly basis, however often they want to accrue. Now that my operation is completed, I will jump back into Ben's leave and absence, go to his time off, and voila, he's got his 10 hours. If you remember, we said as long as he worked 150 hours in a month, he accrued 10 hours. So this is accruing for his month of August. At the end of this month, I could run for September, and he'd get another 10 hours, giving him that balance of 20. So that's just an example of how you can accrue off those hours worked, that feature that we just recently added. So you can accrue based off months of service or hours worked. So that's a lot about the HR administrative pieces of it. I want to also go back in and show you, I had talked about that working day calendar. So if I go over to Ben's employment, there's now the ability to assign a calendar to Ben. And I'll drill in and show you some of the details behind that calendar. So this is just a working calendar. You can create multiple working calendars if you have different employees who work different shifts and that sort of thing. You can set that up. This is just a basic working calendar, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I've got some non-working time, lunch in there. If you have breaks, you can certainly do that. You can also put in holidays. So I've put just a couple examples of some US holidays into the system. If I drill back into that, maybe. Hopefully I didn't freeze. Let's go back out and come back in. Oh, I clicked too quick. Let's go look for Ben. So this is just an example of a couple of the holidays I put in. Where this really becomes powerful then is when I create, once you enter in that information, you can generate the days for the year, and it will then know based on my non-working days, Saturdays, Sundays were closed, and it will also exclude any holidays that I have. Again, this will help streamline the process when an employee goes in and submits their time off. They don't have to remember not to include Saturday as Sunday. Any holidays, it can reduce some of those clerical errors that HR needs to go back in and fix after the fact. So let's look at what this actually looks like on the employee side. So if I go over to employee self-service, this is our employee self-service area where the employee can manage a lot of the information about themselves. But they can come over here and see their time off. This is just showing me my sick time because I had some recent sick time that I submitted there. But this is where I can come in as an employee and request time off. And let's say I know I'm going to take my family on vacation. I am a mother of 3 boys and know that we are going, I promised the boys we would go visit their aunt over Thanksgiving. So I'm going to put in my time off for the week of Thanksgiving. I'm going to be gone that time. What this system has done, because I've got that working day calendar for me, it knows that I work Monday through Friday, I work 8 hours. It also knows that Thanksgiving was that Thursday, it's a holiday. I don't need to remember to go in and remove that from there. The system automatically knew based on my working calendar. I can upload any attachments if there are certain leave plans where you require documentation from the employee. You can have them uploaded here. You can also put in any comments. So I can put in comments saying, and I can see any of my balances. So I can understand, okay, if I request this, I'm taking 32 hours of vacation, what will my remaining balance be? Giving that information to the employee. I could save this if I wanted, if I needed to go home and talk to my family or spouse before submitting this, I could certainly save that. But I'm gonna go ahead and submit it. If you've set up workflow for this, it'll be routed, then my manager can take a look at it and approve it. So let's go ahead and submit that. What I wanna show you now is I talked about CDS. So let's go in and I'm going to show you how we automatically sync that information that I just entered in to my core HR system and how we're getting that over to CDS. So let me log into my CDS environment. So you can see it's defaulting in my environment. I was really original and named it CDS 2.0, but this is my environment that I'm using for this instance. If I go under data, these are all the different entities that are part of my solution that were installed when I provisioned talent. I also have attract and onboard on this instance, so I'm going to see information related to attract and onboard here as well. But let's jump into that leave request. So here's my leave request entity, and I'll jump over to the data. A tip, if you get into CDS and you look at it and you think those columns aren't very interesting, where are the rest of my columns in my entity? If you hit the little eyeball and choose all fields, you can see all the fields that are available in the entity. So now I've got all the fields that are part of the entity, but let's quick search. I'm going to search on that comment. Let's just search on Auntie. And there is that time, or that request that I just submitted. So very quickly, after I put that in Core HR, by the time I navigated out here, it's already sitting in CDS. This may not be the most exciting entity out there, but imagine, if you will, the possibilities of all the data sitting in CDS and all the great flows, Power Apps, Logic Apps that you can create. So this is just a sneak peek of what that CDS2 environment will look like. I'm going to jump back over into Talent. I want to quickly navigate to my UK company. I just want to show you, remember I had mentioned that everything we've seen so far is all about hours worked, our days off in hours. We also give you the ability to track time off in days, and that's at the company level. So in my UK company, I track time off in days, not in hours. So if I go in, I'll show you where you can configure that. So I'm going to go into Human Resource, if I can spell. And under Leave and Absence, this is where you can come in and choose if you're going to track time off in days and hours. The one tip I have for you is you need to set this before you accrue time off on your employees. And we give you a message when you first go in and create your first plans. We'll give you a message at the top that says, hey, you're sitting at hours. Are you sure you want to do that? Because once you accrue, you can't change. So we do give you warnings, but just remember to come in and set this up in your parameters. I'll be talking about parameters a lot. Learn them, love them, because being a SaaS solution, we are going to continue as we add features. A lot of things will be turned on and off with switches there. We also have two sets of parameters forms. We have human resource parameters. That's things that are configured at a company level. We have a lot of data in HR that's shared across your companies, which is why we have something called human resource shared parameters. So if it is data that is shared across all your companies, it will sit in human resource shared parameters. This is a company-specific setting, so it's sitting in human resource parameters. So there's your leave and absence days. We also enable something called half-day definition. I'll show you how that comes into play. If you turn that on, if somebody takes the day off, half day off, you can indicate did they take the first half of the day off or the second half of the day off. So again, streamlining that process for employees. While I'm in here, I'll just jump into the employee self-service. Remember I said that a manager can submit time off on behalf of their employees. Again, it's a configuration. I've turned it on so I allow my managers to submit time off for their employees, so I've made sure that I've marked that. So let me jump into employee self-service again. Now, I'm a manager in this company, which is why I have a My Team tab. If I'm just an employee in the organization, I won't have a My Team tab, but because I am a manager of individuals in my organization, I can get access to some of their information as well. So I can see all the people that report to me. I am also a manager of managers, or an M2, so I've got individuals who also have direct report to them, and I can view the teams below those, so I could come in and see Ann's direct reports as well. But because I turned on that configuration, you can see now I can request time off on behalf of somebody on my team. If I didn't turn that parameter on, this action would not be available. All the actions that you see in Manager Self-Service are configured in parameters. So if you go back home and you look at yours and think, why am I not seeing everything Casey showed? Again, it's sitting in parameters. You just need to turn them on. So if I go in, let's say I want to request time off for Ann. For whatever reason, she wasn't able to. I can then come in and request time off for her. You can see now it's coming in as days. It's doing a full day. If I mark this to a half day, because I turned that on, now I can indicate, is she going to take the first half of the day or the second half of the day again? Again, just streamlining that process for employees and managers when they do that data entry. So that was kind of a whirlwind tour of all the work that we've been doing in leave and absence. We got to see a variety of different features in there. We will continue to invest in this area. We know there are more things people want to do, so I encourage you to continue to watch out there in our release notes. We'll continue to build out the functionality in leave and absence through the calendar year and beyond. The next area I want to talk about is benefits. So I mentioned the fact that you can handle all your benefit management in core HR, but we didn't have the self-service component of that. So we recently released the ability for you to do open enrollment, that self-service opportunity, allowing HR to go in and create processes. We make it very easy for HR to go in. It's a stepped process, a guided process for them to go through. You can easily repeat the process. Knowing that it can be a time-consuming process for HR, we wanted to try and make it as easy as possible. We also wanted the user experience on the employee side to be easy, and we wanted HR to be able to tailor it. There is a lot of information that HR needs to share with employees around open enrollment, and wanted to make sure that we gave HR the ability to go in and get that information to their employees. The one thing I will mention, this feature is currently under public preview, which means you can get access to it. It won't be there by default. You just need to turn on our public preview feature. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so let me get out of that. I'm going to jump back into my US company. And let's go into system parameters. Told you we'd love parameters today. So under system parameters, we have preview features, and all you need to do is enable this. So just turn it on to yes. We have a link out there to documentation. This is currently the only feature that we have under public preview, but as we add additional features, if we put them under the public preview flag, we've got a link out to the documentation, and we will certainly update that as we release features under public preview there. So just make sure that you enable that if you want to use the open enrollment. So I'm going to go over to our benefits area within Talent. And if you have that feature turned on, there will be a new tab, this enrollment guides. If you don't have those public preview features turned on, you will not see enrollment guides. So here's an example. I created an enrollment guide for last year for my 2018 open enrollment process. Let's say I'm getting ready for my 2019 open enrollment process. You could come in and I could start creating a new guide from scratch. By just clicking new, but I don't really want to do that. I want to use a lot of the great information that I had last year to start from. So I'm going to use my last year's guide actually as a starting point or a launching point for this year. So if I select that one, I can come in and I can duplicate it. So I am going to name this Open Enrollment 2019. And I'm going to pick my open enrollment dates. I'm actually going to pick this month because I want to show you what it looks like from the employee experience. But you could obviously put in the dates that your open enrollment is available at Microsoft. We happen to do open enrollment in November, but I'm going to pick September. And then this is where you can enter in your coverage start date. So this is the start date of when those benefits will be effective. So we are following the calendar year, so we are going to say January of 2019. And then my coverage end dates, I'm going to actually set this by default to never. What this allows you to do is go in and handle those benefits that are that you want to handle as a passive enrollment. You don't want your employees to have to go in every year if they don't go into open enrollment. We all know we have our employees that don't necessarily go into open enrollment every year. So there may be benefits that you automatically roll over for them even if they don't go and re-elect them. That's how you can handle that, is through never. I'll show you at a benefit level though how you can override that. If there are certain benefits you want them to have to opt into each year, you can set the coverage end date at a specific date and then they would need to opt back into that benefit. So I'm going to choose duplicate. And what this is doing now is taking all that information from my 2018 guide, bringing it over as a starting point for 2019, and now I can go through and tweak that for this year. So I've already entered in all of my date information. I just want to update my description for 2019. So now you can see it's got a nice stepped process guiding me through what I need to complete. So the next step I need to do is say, okay, so which people do I want this to be available to? Which people in my organization are going to be part of this open enrollment process? So I've included which companies, which employees this should be available to. I've grabbed just my US, in this example, just my US companies. And then I've said it's available to employees. If you have benefits that you offer to your contractors, you can certainly do this. This also does not need to be a US-centric only feature. If you have regions where there are fringe benefits or elective benefits available, you can certainly go in and create guides there where you want your employees to be able to sign up for those fringe benefits. You can also filter down further by using position types. Position types are user-defined in the system. A customer can create as many or different types of position types that they want, and you can use that to further refine kind of the grouping or bucket of people that you want open enrollment available. Right now I'm saying it's being offered to my full-time employees. So now I've said the who, now I need to say what. What benefits are going to be part of my open enrollment? It's automatically brought over those benefits from 2018. If any of those benefits had been sunsetted or were no longer active as of that new coverage date, we wouldn't bring those over for you. You can add any new benefits. So if you are adding new benefits to this calendar year that you wanted to make available to employees, you can certainly come in and add those benefits. You could also remove any benefits. Now, if you remember, I mentioned that the coverage end dates, you can override this at the benefit level. So we've got a couple fringe benefits that don't automatically roll over for people. So I need to update this to say each year coverage ends on these and employees need to opt back into these programs. So I want to make sure that I update these to 2019, as well as a child care flexible spending account. Again, that does not roll over. My employees need to opt into that each year. So I'm going to go ahead and set that coverage end date. The next thing we're doing is we're running eligibility. Within our benefits area, we allow you to set up rules. You may have benefits that not everybody is eligible for. Maybe they live in a certain region, a state, that sort of thing, where you offer certain benefits, or they're of a certain employee type, or they get, because they're in your sales org, they get a cell phone, or if they're an executive, they get a car. All variety of different rules that you can set up. And what the system's doing is it's saying, okay, based on the benefits and the people, let's marry those together and make sure that we are only creating guides for employees that have benefits they're eligible for. You don't want to have an employee go into an experience and see benefits they're not eligible for. So that's what the system did. It came back and is giving you a report of who is eligible for what. And you can see in this example, I've got Aaron, and it looks like he is eligible for 22 of the benefits, but he's not eligible for one. So let's drill back into that benefit and see if we can figure out why. So this is the benefit. It looks like Aaron's not eligible for the company car. He did not meet the conditions required by the rule. And let's go back and look at the benefit. So here's the rule that we've set up where we're saying it's rules-based. You can make benefits, you can set that to not be rules-based. You can say everybody's eligible for a benefit. But if you do want it to be set on a rule, it looks like I've got a rule that's set up to say that only our executive employees are eligible for this. Aaron's not an executive, which is why he was ineligible. Now, I always say with any rule, there's an exception. And this is where you can handle those exceptions. You can put in overrides. So if you had somebody that was grandfathered into a plan, so they may not read the current rule, but they've been grandfathered in, you can put in override for them. Maybe they negotiated something with you. This is, again, where you can put that in there. You can put the people, and you can also indicate maybe they are just grandfathered in for one more year. You can say how long that the override is eligible. So maybe Aaron is the CEO's nephew and he gets a company car. So that's where you could put Aaron in and then change that. So if we had gone in and put Aaron in, or for whatever reason, if you were expecting Aaron to be able to get this, you could go in, maybe something was missing on his employer record or your rule wasn't set up right. You can make those tweaks and you can come back in here and rerun eligibility and make sure you get the results you expect. The next step is enrollment, what we call enrollment experience. And this is where HR really has got the power to go in and create the experience for the customer. We give you a starting point where we give you some tabs within this. We bring in all the benefits that you've done. But this is where HR can come in and really start customizing the experience for their employees, making sure they get the information out to employees that they want so that they can make the best decisions for themselves and their family. So if I click on Edit Page, I can come in as an HR administrator. Maybe I don't like the fact that this first tab is called Introduction and I want to call it Welcome. If I could type. This is where we also have that rich text editor, so I can put in all the text. I can make things different fonts, different colors. I could embed my company logo if I want an image. I could have links out, so if I want to have links to provider sites, maybe I have an internal intranet site or a video that I want people to watch on Introduction. You can do all of that. The possibilities are here are endless, but we want to make sure that we make it flexible enough so that HR is in control of the messaging that they want. I'll leave this from last year, but this is obviously where you could come in and tweak your messaging for this year. And we do that on each one of these tabs. So under personal detail, where they would come in and verify their information, either their dependents or beneficiaries, this is where, again, HR can come in and edit the page. If there's key pieces of data you want to make sure that they put in, explain to them why it's important and why they need to enter that in, you can do that as well. And then in each one of the areas, if you want to help employees understand things about the different plans, if there are terms that our employees may not understand, you can give examples of that. This is where I have a link out to one of our providers. Again, all of this can be done in the page. You can even have more specific headings or instructions on when you pick this plan, do this sort of thing. So we try and give you as much flexibility in there, helping you build out that content. One other thing we do is at the very end, we have an acknowledgement area. This is where if you want your employees to be able to acknowledge that the selections they make, you can put in your own terms or verbiage in here that they can sign off of saying, yep, I agree, I'm enrolling in these, and I agree that you can have certain deductions taken from my payroll. If you don't need an acknowledgement section, you can certainly go ahead and hide this if you want. If that's not applicable to your organization, you can certainly hide that acknowledgement, and then that wouldn't be presented to your employees when they go through. So in understanding that open enrollment is a process that HR works on for a long time, you can come in and save it at any point. It will save it as a draft for you. HR can work on this months in advance of open enrollment, work with colleagues, make sure all the content is at a point that they want it to be. And then before open enrollment, once you've got everything that you want in the guide, you've got all the content, it's ready to go, then what you can do is publish it. And what publishing will do then is get it in a ready state. And majority of the time you would publish this, obviously, a week or maybe days in front of open enrollment. And what that will do is once you publish it, it will sit in a scheduled state normally. Mine is sitting in a live state because we're right in during open enrollment. Remember, I said my open enrollment period was September, so it jumped to live right away. But when it sits at a scheduled state, it's just saying it's published, it's ready to go, but it's not available to your employees yet. What the system will do is it will wait until your open enrollment period. When it hits that date, the system will automatically flip it to live. HR doesn't need to remember to come in the night before and flip the switch and get this thing, all set up. It will, when it hits that calendar day, it will flip it to live. Once it's live, then any employee that is part of the grouping that you made of open enrollment will have access to that. So now that it's live, an employee then can go out and look at this. Before I jump over to the employee experience, I did want to show you, I talked a little bit about some of the reporting that we do have. So once it's published out there, you'll have the ability to go into the monitor area. And this is where we've started creating some of those Power BI reports in there, where you can start seeing how many people have submitted their open enrollment, who hasn't submitted their open enrollment, who started the process but hasn't completed that. So you can get all of that reporting information right from within the open enrollment guide. So each one of the guides will have these reports available when it comes up. So again, here I have my enrollment status. I don't have very great data in here, but here I could see who's not started once people are in progress or completed. You could drill down and then I can get lists. I can see managers if I need to start bothering some managers. If I have a manager with a bunch of people that haven't completed, I know who to talk to. And I can export this information out. I can also look at a submission log. So anytime an employee submits their open enrollment, it will be written to a log file. If there's information that needs to be reviewed, if there is a problem with their submission, we will tell you in here. And we'll also show you everybody so that you have that full log of all participants that have made any submissions through open enrollment. So there's just some of the reporting capabilities that we have in open enrollment. I am going to jump back over to employee self-service though, so I can show you the employee experience for that. So now we're back in an employee portal, and now I've got a new card called open enrollment. This wasn't there when we were in here earlier, but because we're in open enrollment, I created the guide and published it. It's live. Now as an employee, I can go in and do open enrollment. So I can see how many days I have left, and I can click into my guide. You'll notice the guide looks very familiar. It looks very much like the HR experience, but this is what your employee will see. So all of that content that HR put out here will be available to their employee. You can see now it's being called welcome. If I have any current benefits, I can see all of my current benefits as an employee there. And then I can start navigating through each one of the tabs. It'll show me if I'm currently enrolled in a benefit, it'll be marked by default. So as an employee, if I'm not changing any of my benefits this year, I can quick go through and review it, but I don't need to make changes. It will automatically be marked for me as long as we've set up that coverage end date to never. Once I go through all of these different processes, I could certainly save this at any point, exit if I need to go home, talk to my family members. I could make those, save it, come back in, and then submit that. Once I've gone through each one of these, I can go ahead, review my changes, make sure they're what I want, and then I could go ahead and submit those changes. Here is that acknowledgement form that I mentioned, that text in there, and I can say, yep, I agree to this, and then I click OK. And now it's letting me know that my choices have been submitted. And now that'll be written over to that log file, letting HR know that I did in fact submit my open enrollment. So that's some of the features that we have got in the benefits area and open enrollment there. Again, it is sitting in the public preview there. We will eventually be going to GA, but it is currently sitting in public preview. So the next area I want to talk about is employee self-service. We've been in employee self-service, but I've talked a lot about wanting to make this experience more comprehensive and collaborative for employees. So how can we allow you to extend employee self-service, allowing you to go possibly to other systems? So we've looked at how can you easily surface Power Apps in employee self-service? How can you add external links to other systems in employee self-service? And then we're recently working on allowing you to embed iframes in self-service. The last one does have a star next to it, which means it's in private preview. That one we're still kicking the tires on, so it's not under our public preview switch there, so it's not ready for prime time and production. But if you are interested in getting that feature enabled on your trial environment, you can let me know afterwards and we can get you set up with that. So kind of want to give you a sneak peek of it, but it's not ready for prime time yet. So let me jump back over. All right, here we are back in my employee self-service. So let's go in and talk a bit about links. These are the links that we ship by default, but I've actually added a few links down below that are links to outside systems. At Microsoft, we obviously have an internal HR site. One of the features we have is Ask HR. We can ask HR any questions. So I've created a link out to that. That's outside of Talent. I've also got some links out to payroll. We recently released an integration with Ceridian and Dayforce to their payroll integration, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. But this is an example where I can have links out to that Ceridian system so my employee doesn't need to have to go out there. They can use ESS as a launching point to get to that payroll information. So I'll show you how we went in and created some of these links. So I will jump back in, and you guessed it, human resource parameters. So under that employee self-service umbrella, remember we were here earlier turning on leave and absence, but this is where I can create those new links. So this is where I added those free links, but let's say I want to add a new link. Say, I don't know, let's go to LinkedIn. Our friends at LinkedIn. So I can give it a name, I can just type in my address. And I can pick it to be part of one of the existing groups that I have, either my HR intranet group or my pay group. Those don't really make sense in this, so I'm just going to create a new group right on the fly. It's as simple as that. And I've created a link out to an external system. So I'll jump back over to employee self-service. And now I've got my link over here. These forms can certainly be personalized if you want that information at the top. Maybe you don't want those links sitting at the bottom. You can come in and personalize the form. Maybe I want my pay information to be up. I don't want that to be at the bottom. Everybody likes to know their pay information, right? So we can bring that information. I mustn't have grabbed it very good. I need better dexterity. Well, it's going to pick on me and not let me move. Maybe pay needs to stay at the bottom. Okay, imagine if you will. Let's try another one. This is going to bug me. No, it doesn't want me to do it. Okay, imagine if you will. We played the game. It moved up. But you can personalize the page if you want it to move up. Another thing that we've allowed you to, I mentioned Power Apps. So you can embed Power Apps in different forms in Core HR. You can also do that under Personalize. So under the Insert, that's where you can add, I mentioned custom fields, so the ability to go in and add custom fields. You can do that off of here. And the second option we have is to be able to embed a Power App. So I'm going to choose to embed a Power App. I'm going to place it there. And then this is where you can enter in the information for your Power App. So I just went out to Power App, create a really simple Power App, an employee survey. So let's give it a name. The next thing you need is your app ID, and I'm going to show you where to find that. So if you remember, we were out in Power Apps already. We looked at our CDS and our entity environment, but let's jump up to apps. This is where I've got my Employee Pulse Survey app. If you click into that, each one of your apps will have the app ID. I just need to copy that over here. And then I can choose if I want it to be wide or thin. We will say thin. The next thing you can do is choose which legal entity you want to have this access to. So if you created a Power App for a specific region or a specific set of employees in that company, you can say, I only want this available to the employees in this company or multiple companies or all legal entities. Since this is a pulse survey, though, I want it available to all my employees out there, so I'm going to leave it at all legal entities, and I'm going to go ahead and insert this. So now it's telling me that it's been added, but I need to reload the form to see that. So let's go ahead and reload my employee self-service. And there I've got my Employee Pulse survey, just a simple Power App that I created to walk people through that. Again, I could come in and customize this if I didn't want it to be the first tab. I can move it over to be the last tab or wherever I wanted it. But maybe I want to leave it first to encourage people to fill it out if it's their default tab in employee self-service, so maybe I'll leave it where it's at. So that's an example of how I can add links. I can also add Power Apps. Now I mentioned also the ability to embed iframes. So let me show you how we can do that. If I go under System, we have an area called Talent Add-in Configurations. So this is where I can enter in my iframe information. So let's say I want to iframe in one of my benefit providers. Let's say we work closely with Cigna as one of our benefit providers. So I am going to iframe in their information. And then this is what I want displayed to the user. I will put in their address. And then you can pick the host form. This is where you want that piece of data or this form to be iframed in, and I'm going to pick the employee workspace. Very similar to Power Apps. Again, you can choose which company or companies you want this to be available to. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just say all for simplicity. So I can go ahead and save this. And then let me jump back out to employee self-service. So now in addition to my Power App and my links, now I have a tab called Cigna. And now when I click on that, it should iframe in Cigna's form. So that's how you can add those iframes in there. Not every site allows iframing, so if you have problems with it, it might be that the site doesn't allow iframing in there. But so again, this is something we have on public preview, but happy to share it out there in your trial environments if you want to go out and play around with it and kick the tires per se. So that's all the different areas that we're allowing you to extend employee self-service. I did want to spend a few minutes talking about the Ceridian integration. So we did release an integration with Ceridian in their North American offering. So their North American offering, they have payroll processing for Canada, the US, and Mexico, which is what we integrate with. And the great thing about the integration is we've done a lot of the heavy lifting already. We've done all the mapping and the testing between Talent and Ceridian. We're bringing over that key employee data. We're bringing across those benefits, the deduction pieces of information, obviously your compensation information, relevant information to the positions, departments, worker information. So to set that up, I am going to jump into my integration form. And here is my payroll integration setting. So the first thing you need to do, when we transfer this data, we create a data package in Talent, and we upload that up to a secure FTP site. We encrypt it and upload it to a secure FTP site that your Dayforce Ceridian solution has got so that they can pull it down. So you need to first get the endpoint from your Dayforce solution as well as the folder path of where you are going to place this package file from Talent. You also need that username and password so that Talent can access that. Now what I've done is I've just set the integration up to run every 12 hours. That certainly can be run more frequently or less frequently depending on your needs in your organization. And then you can go ahead and test that connection, and let's do that. You need to test the connection to make sure that your instance of Talent can actually hit that secure endpoint. It looks like, yay, we were successful. So now when our data packages get created, they will automatically be uploaded to that FTP site. The next thing you can do then is pick which companies you want that integration to work with. I've again just picked my US company since our integration is currently working with their North American offering. We are working very close with them right now on their UK offering. They do have a UK solution out there that we're currently in testing phases with. So we'll be looking to release that once we are complete with our testing process. The last thing you need to do then is just to turn it on. You just need to enable the integration. This will go out and create that data package for you. There is a reset integration button. What that does is our first data load will be a full data load. That first package you create will be a full data load package there. After that, any of those subsequent data packages will have all the deltas or only the changes to there. But if for whatever reason you need a full data load or a data push over to Ceridian, all you need to do is click that reset integration button. So I know I've talked a lot about this data package. Let's quick go look at it. So let's go into my data management area. And because I turned on my payroll integration, it's automatically created the project for me. I didn't need to go out and create that project. Once I enabled integration, the system knows to go out there and automatically create the project. The project also contains all the entities that need to be part of that payroll integration. So if I click in here, you can see these are all the entities that we are currently packaging up to be sent over to Ceridian. I can also click into one of these, and I'll just quick show you the mapping. So again, I mentioned we did all the heavy lifting. We are doing all of that mapping back and forth to the fields in Ceridian, so you don't need to understand the schema in Talent as well as the schema in Ceridian. We have done that all for you. There is documentation out there, so if you, I'll jump back in there. If you get back home and you forget everything Casey talked about, we do have documentation on the payroll integration. We've got a link right out here. It's out on our docs.microsoft.com site. A great documentation that talks to how to enable it, gives you very detailed information about all the data that we are taking from Talent over to Ceridian and how those things all map. So I encourage you, if you're interested in this, take a look at the documentation that we have available out there. With that, I also wanted to tell you that as we add new features, how many are familiar or go out to docs.microsoft.com? We've got a lot of information out there in Talent, but what we're also doing on the Core H side are doing release notes there. So you can see we've started to publish out there our weekly release notes. We usually release on a weekly cadence there, unless we've got some other internal reasons that we couldn't. But you can see what we're releasing each week. So you can see what we released this week. We always tell you the build. Here we've also got last week, so remember I talked about accruing time off based on hours worked. We just released that last week. So we will continue to update these each week. We try and get them out a few days before we do push out a release to let you know of that. But I'd be sure to keep an eye on this, and this will give you an idea of the features that we are building with that. We do also have a few other enhancements I wanted to mention. So we have made some other changes in here. Address change visibility. As employees are going in through self-service and making changes to their address, we'll now have a tile in personnel management. We'll let HR know that they made those changes. The also great thing about getting on CDS2 is that's one of the entities we have out there, so you could go in and create a flow. That you could create a flow that says, hey, send an email to my payroll department or HR anytime an employee goes in and updates their address changes. It obviously affects taxes and that sort of thing, address changes. So the great thing about having that information also as flow is you have some more flexibility about being notified for that. We're also doing a better job of, we track a lot of information that's expiring there. We didn't always make it very easy to find, so we're trying to make sure we're surfacing that information up to HR through personnel management and also in manager self-service. Again, configuration options, but if you want managers to be notified if somebody has certificates that is expiring soon, then you can turn that on and the manager will be notified in their manager self-service. We've added the ability for you to format our identification numbers, yay for small wins. So now when you go in and enter things like social security number, we'll have a format for you. So to reduce those clerical errors, we'll also let you do masking on that, and we'll do some duplicate checking for you. And then we've just streamlined some process around loaned items, letting you know if something's already been loaned. We're allowing you to configure some of your transfer actions that are turning on certain pieces of it. We're looking at enhancing some of the compensation information there. So if you have and track executive compensation information, we're going to make changes to compensation around that, letting you secure some of that executive compensation more, and then also having multiple compensation levels. So the last few we don't have out there yet, but that's my key to have you continue to go out there and watch the release notes. We will be bringing those out shortly. With that, we are at a close. I'm done a little early. These are the sessions that we've had so far in Talent. The one we have left tomorrow, we have a really good session. It's unfortunate it's on Friday at 10:45. We have a great session that's talking about the extensibility. I feel like I have just done a teaser for some of the extensibility that you can do. Manav and Apostolos have some great demos they want to show you on some great Power Apps they've created. So if you are here tomorrow, I encourage you to come to their session. So with that, I want to thank you for your time today. I'm happy to stick around for questions. I can answer them here, or please feel free to come up and ask me afterwards. But thank you again for coming, and have a good rest of the week.